But you've all been together a long time, huh? Most of you 8 years. Some of you have come and gone. But there's a great unity that happens in a school year after year as you see yourselves growing up. I imagine there are some times when you've really felt close as friends, and other times you fought a little bit and wondered about that guy or that gal, and then you're back together again. Well, the unity that you're showing tonight is a perfect mirror of what that gospel was talking about. Because Jesus was saying that he is totally united with his Father. So much so that the two of their love is so great that they send out love, which is the Holy Spirit. But when Jesus prays to his Father, he's not just in it just for himself. He's praying out loud so that the disciples would hear it. And he was saying, I'm not praying even just for these, but I'm praying for everybody else who through their word will learn about me and be one in me. So it is great that you have been together all these years, but it's time to move on. That's what graduation is all about. It's time to move on and to spread the circle and to get to know others. It might be hard at first in high school, but you'll find it's really good that you move out. But what we're asked to do, and for that matter every one of us, is as we experience the love of God in our life, it's not closed in. It is always reaching out. Today is the feast of a man called Justin. He lived about 100 years after Jesus. And Justin was a great teacher. He was a pagan, didn't believe in God or much less Jesus, but he was a great teacher of philosophy. And he lived in Rome, and he started noticing that there were people that were preaching about a fella called Jesus. And that some of them, when they called them, when the disciples called this Jesus Lord, they were getting in trouble with the emperor, who said, I'm the Lord, I'm the one God. And at that point, martyrdom started happening. They would arrest him and put him to death because they didn't put the emperor before God and his son Jesus. And Justin was so amazed at the example of the Christians that he eventually started asking questions about this Jesus, learned all he could about him, and he went from believing in the pagan God to believing in Jesus Christ and the one only God and the Spirit. And he was baptized. Of course, his vocation was teaching and preaching, and so all he did was change the subject. Stayed as a teacher, stayed as one who gave example, and he started telling others about the faith that you've been studying for all these years, all through your grades. He studied, and what he said is, I can explain the faith to other people in ways that they will understand. And so he started preaching and writing, and we still have some of Justin's writings. Well, you can imagine if suddenly he's explaining how Jesus Christ is Lord. His reputation, just like the other Christians, got to the Caesar. And pretty soon he found himself being arrested, just like the Christians that he admired. And he was put to death in the year 165. And here we are 2,000 years later, hailing him as a saint, a martyr, and a teacher. It's great. That's how the faith passes on. That's how your parents and your grandparents have tried to pass the faith on. That's how your teachers and our parishes have done all that we can to be able to help you realize that God is in you and you are in God, and that we are all responsible to pass that faith on. So we want you to get out of here and to get into high school and college or military or work or whatever you do. We want you to do that. But we want you to keep the flame of faith alive in your heart and not be afraid to share it with other kids in high school, in college, in the military, at work, wherever it might be. That's who the true Christian is. You need some strength for that, because it's pretty easy to just keep your mouth shut and not say anything. But that's why we have the table of the Lord, the Eucharist. Jesus says, come and eat, come and drink. I'll be part of your life. And then when you open your mouth and talk about me, it's not just you alone doing it. I'm talking through you. I'm giving witness through you because my Spirit is there. What a blessing. What a blessing for our school, our parishes, our church. I hope us as adults can continue to give the example to these young people by the way we believe, by the way we speak forward, by the way we are active in our parishes, so that the ripples go on and on and on. Jesus Christ is risen. He lives and reigns forever.